Let's go. And just yelling. This is right. Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here today with you on our first day number 1. Yes, it's been a rough day for me. This morning at 3 o'clock, we had a power failure, a massive power failure, and the power only came back at around 11. And so I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, so we've got load shedding also. So on top of that, we just got news that we've got load shedding again, which means that there's not enough power in the grid, so they cut the power for like 2 hours, and then other people go next and such, but it depends on the stages. So we're on stage 2, so tonight at 10, it's back to load shedding. Yay. Not too excited about that. Right, ladies, let me just get my notes. You know that I love my notes. Okay, so just some housekeeping quickly. So under the guides, guide number 1, you've got your keto meal plan, shopping list, and everything. I hope you did download that because, as you know, on my keto system, I plan 25 grams total carbs. So the meal plan is perfect. So you total carbs 25 grams and you're on a safe zone there. Just go check out, I explain exactly what your protein intake should be and your fat intake. Now, I've had a lot of people saying, Vivian, I'm having problems with snacking. So more often than not, it's because you don't get enough fat. So up your fat a little. Butter is always yummy, or just drizzle some extra olive oil on your salad or whatnot. That should help that a lot. And also beware of carb crawling, which means carbs, they, just add up. And we all know that carbs lead to wanting more carbs, and then you get cravings. So just beware of that. Just follow the meal plan because you're safe with the carbs. All right. So I hope you did get that. I hope you enjoyed the shopping list and whatnot. So today, and happy Memorial Day for you Americans out there. So, okay, let's continue. Today, we're going to be talking about getting your mind right. Because as you know, I always say we lose weight in the kitchen and we exercise to look sexy. So, yeah. But if our mind isn't right, then we do have problems. So it's like every time you start a new diet, you can't resist the sweet some things. Every time there's a valid excuse for this. And every time it's like, I'll do it tomorrow, or you slip up and everything just goes south. So the success of actually being successful at dieting is in the mind. If your mind is right, then everything will work out. So the most important part is you need to love yourself. And at some stage in your life, you have to put yourself first. You have to get yourself right to be able to be there for other people. And that is very important. I find that a lot of moms, especially, they have a lot of things to do. Being a mom isn't easy. You have to raise kids, and you want to be there for them. And also for myself, it was okay until I had my kids. Then I really, my not so nice journey with weight gain started. And for a lot of women, that's the problem. And you have to kind of step back and just help serve yourself for a change. Go take that long bath. Just think about your life. But okay, anyways, I'm like babbling a little bit here. So just ask anyone who has attempted weight loss, and they will share these stories of doom and gloom. The liquid diets, the cabbage diets, you name it, the don't eat this diet, only eat that diet. So we've all been there. And I mean, my mom, my aunt, my granny, even, all of them, they had weight issues. And it was always a topic, oh, I'm on this Pravita diet, I'm on that. And yeah, for me, it was always there. For a lot of women, this weight problem, it's always been there. But somehow the answer isn't there, because as I mentioned before, 17 years of a woman's life, she's like struggling with, weight problems. And the adage goes, fail until you don't, but really fail until you don't for 17 years. So I'm 41 years old. So I'll be 50, 8? No, hell no, I can't do that. I mean, then your life is practically over. Well, not really, but you're a gran by that time, and you want to be fit, not worry about how am I going to lose this weight. It's cruel, really. And I mean, we're in the 20th century, and there's no solution for weight loss. And in fact, it's only getting worse if you think about it. So, but the truth is, we focus on the doom and gloom and all the negativity out there. So in every new diet attempt, when the going gets tough, things go wrong, and we have that oh crap moment, and our dieting efforts completely fail in the moment. Now, if there was ever a magic pill that could help us shed the pounds and keep the momentum going, regardless of circumstance, this is the section where we will be talking about this stuff. Yeah, I know this is kind of like Tony Robbins stuff, but yeah, I needed to hear this back in the day, and I just feel I have to share this with you. And we have to act on it. Sometimes it might seem stupid and silly, but really it does help. With my clients, it has helped a lot. So, yes, the key to weight loss is not solely in diet or exercise, but in the mind. So I think we should just unlock this now and just, have a good chat about this. So what we want is lasting change, because what happens a lot of the time is we go on a diet and it works. First month, woohoo, yeah, Sharon, I've lost 10 pounds. Wow, this is awesome. But then, the willpower, there's no longevity in that, and everything crumbles, and you're back to square one. And more often than not, women actually gain more weight. And it's this vicious cycle, and it just spirals out of control. So we want lasting change. What is your true desire in life? Not what you think you want or what other people want you to have. You have to have a vision which you can focus on. Not like, oh, I'm going to stop eating sugar, stop smoking, lose 10, 20 pounds. That really isn't inspiring. Don't you think it's a little hard to move forward with, like, I should lose 20 pounds? It's not inspiring at all. A vision is about what you're here to create, a vision that really works and one that really excites you. It's like my resolution, my goal, my outcome for this week, month, year, it's to lose 10 pounds. That's okay, but it's not compelling. It doesn't excite you. It's not inspiring. It has to be inspiring. It has to be a vision to like really pull you and, not to push you, because there are two kinds of motivations. It's the push, and that requires willpower, and it never ever lasts. But then you have the pull, which lasts, having something so exciting, so attracting, a desire so deep that you have a hard time going to sleep at night. Something you want so bad, you'll get up early in the morning, you'll do that extra thing, and you just want it. And make no mistake, it's not always easy. But this vision, number one, has to be compelling. The second thing is you will have to have strong enough reasons. So we usually call them your why, that you'll have to follow through when the going gets tough. So if you want a snack, like when a little kid, puts out the little chubby hand and wants that cookie, and as a mom, and you, that, strong why, so you can follow through when the going gets tough. And that's the biggest thing that's missing for people, to push them through when the challenges and the temptations come up. So if your reasons are strong enough, even fear, self-doubt, and shame won't make an impact. So those reasons can be positive or negative. I mean, for example, so often we fear the failure, we feel it so greatly that we don't take action. But if your reasons are strong enough, fear won't have a chance in your life. So that's really awesome. So reasons come first and answers come second. So it's like, if you, they always say, like, if you go to the island with a boat, the adage, I can't remember it word for word, but you burn those boats. You just burn them. So you'll just have to follow through. You'll just have to get away. So remember, the reason comes first and the answer comes second. For now, just focus on those reasons. So number one, you've got that compelling vision, that thing that will drive you. Okay. And then you will have your reasons to back them up, to not be led into temptations. Okay, so I get goosebumps when I think about this, because I wish someone had just taken me by the hand and sat me down and told me, you know what, Vivian, this is what you need to do, and not dive into the first diet that sounds like a winner. Anyways, passion, it's my passion. So I hope this is making sense to you. Is it? Oh, I don't know. So, and then let me just see my notes again. So if you have that compelling vision and your reasons are strong enough, they will push you through the toughest of times. So if there's a hiccup, you'll acknowledge it and you'll just get back to it. Even if you work for KFC and there's all this delicious KFC battered wheat looking at you, you will say no. And you know who I'm talking about here. All right, so good. You will resist that KFC. Now, the next step is you will have to review this every day. Now, I don't know if you know a guy called Brendan Bouchard. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but yeah, what an inspirational character he is. Now, he said he is very successful now, but he told the story about where every morning he would lie in his bed next to his wife, and he would just for 3 minutes close his eyes and envision what he wanted in his life. And he wanted it so badly. And he had this little space, this computer next to their bed, and they were poor, starting out in life, not even married. And he was, typing away on his computer, and his wife was still sleeping, and he had put all the bills on her. And he thought, you know what? She's lying under the burden of these bills. I just need to get out of here. And everything just shifted for him because that vision. So he had his reasons. And every morning he had that vision, and then the reasons fell into place. So isn't that just amazing what the mind can do? Later on, he married her and he became very successful. So review your vision every day. See it in your mind. Take 3 minutes. Some people do have morning routines. They get up and they do this. For me, it's different because when I get up, I do 3 minutes. But then it's up, get my daughter to school, do this, da. So if all that is over, I take my time to myself and I just meditate and think. For everyone, it's different, but you need to get that review time for yourself, just to remind you again of how important this is. So I have to tell you, my daughter Lily, it was her birthday on Saturday, and it was so funny. So she tends not to talk about her day, really. And it's like, Lily, what did you do today? Nothing. It's all I get. So I have to be kind of sneaky about it. So this little guy, her friend Caleb, came, and I'm saying, hi, how are you? And good. And he's like, look, I got Lily a little unicorn, and it's a white unicorn, and I chose the white unicorn. And I said, now, why did you get her a unicorn? He's like, she's obsessed with unicorns. She talks about unicorns the whole day long. Like little ones, if they get into the flavor of the month or whatnot, they're obsessed with it. So we have to be the same to keep our mind ready and so focused, so exactly on what we want. Don't forget it. And remember, put yourself first and surround yourself with people who see your vision. It's very important. But be like a little kid with this one, just be obsessive. This is your life. You need to take action on what you want because no one else is going to do it for you. Trust me. It's so sad, but yeah, that's life. So envisioning it, dreaming about it, feeling it. So, and yeah, as I said, attract people. And also it's a reticular activator. Like, if you buy a red Golf, it's strange. You will just see red Golfs all around you every day. Or if you buy a certain dress and you see someone else wearing that dress or a certain fashion, it just, you see it. All of a sudden, you see it everywhere. And if with your vision, with your reasons, and if you envision it, then your brain starts activating, and you see it everywhere. It's kind of, you see how amazing your brain actually is if you do it right. So your reticular activator determines what you notice in the world. And if you're very clear on your vision and it's compelling and strong, your reasons, and you review it enough, it becomes a part of you. You won't be able to separate it. You're going to be one with that. So just remember that. So, yeah. So we have to, if you have all these things aligned, you have to move forward. So a lot of times people, they have their New Year's resolutions and they come up with something and it's not very compelling. They don't have strong reasons and they never review it. So your New Year's resolution is just like, it's like a wish list. It's like, I wish. But then if it doesn't happen, you're not really shocked. You didn't attach yourself to something. You're just like, it happened to me. I was a smoker for years. I started when I was 21 in varsity, actually. And I think 3 times, even after I was married, I tried to quit. Yeah, every year, New Year's resolution, I should stop smoking, I should eat better, I should, but it never happened because it wasn't real, it wasn't, yeah. So I can ask myself the question, ultimately, what is it about? If you want lasting change in anything, there's just one more thing that you need to do, and that is actually to raise your standards. And you might be thinking, what? Well, think about it. Often, like, a lasting change is different than a goal. A goal can be a daily thing or a weekly thing or a monthly thing or a yearly thing. A goal isn't like really, long term. So a lot of times I'm a listy person. Everything. My husband is like Monday and I'm like more old school because, men are all like techie and stuff and I'm old school. I've got my diary over here and everything goes in there. And without this thing, I'm lost. So actually my husband is cleverer. I didn't say that, but yeah, I should actually move over to that. I'm not promoting them, but yeah. So, just every day I need to do this and this. Your very short-term goals by the end of the week, this. And so goals, yeah, they're important, but it's easy to hit your goals. And what can I say? It's like they can be misses. Sometimes you don't really get to your goals. Like, for example, if I wanted to get that extra bunny for the birthday party and I didn't actually achieve that goal, So then I'd be like, okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Goal, it's not that important. So a goal is different than a vision because you put your life into it. A vision is like when you look back, if you're on your deathbed, you're like, did I make a difference? That's how strong your vision must be. Your grandchildren should be talking about this. This is how important your vision has to be. So it really outweighs those insignificant goals, if that really makes any sense. So, yeah, lasting changes are different than goals. Um, so everybody in life gets their musts. They don't get their shoulds. It's like, I should lose some weight. I should make more money. I should check my email. I should spend more quality time with the kids. The shoulds are like the New Year's resolutions, basically. You kind of know, yeah, it's not going to happen. But if I must find a way, you must. You don't know how you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You must. It changes from a should to a must. It's a shift. So when humans make a real resolution inside themselves, they raise their standards and they make it a must. They find a way. So have you ever raised your standards and life hasn't been the same? I mean, we were struggling financially. And for a few years, we didn't go on holiday with the family. We basically would go visit with my mom and them, who stay on a lovely farm. And it's very enjoyable to go visit with the family. But sometimes, you also feel if you go out and you don't take them with, that they get offended and so on. And, they feel you're scared that they're going to feel you like using them. But anyways, so yeah, we used to visit family. And so then eventually we saved up enough money to actually go on a nice family vacation. So, and it was actually Airbnb. And we went to a place called Dargle, and then we went to the sea. Indian Ocean it is, here in South Africa. And then we went to the Drakensberg. If you ever come to South Africa, it's a must. The Drakensberg is beautiful. And then all of a sudden, the should became a must. It was life-changing because the standard of life was different. There was just this shift. And a lot of times it's easier if you see that, you can say, oh, now I know what it means. So yeah, it's quite scary if you miss that in your life, because people live by the standards they give themselves. It's the belief systems that you create for yourself. So it's very, very important that you take the should and put it into a must. Everything must become a must at this stage. So as I said, everything shifted. So you never go back, because you can't live in those circumstances. It also, to get to that vision, sometimes it's going to be very uncomfortable. Like, for example, going to the gym, it's going to be an uncomfortable action for you. But you know what happens then? It's going to become comfortable. And then there's a shift, because you will be uncomfortable if you don't go to the gym to get your fix. And yes, that's how it should be in life. It should be uncomfortable until it's so uncomfortable if you don't do that thing. So you see, there has to be this whole shift, right? I really do hope I'm making sense over here. So, willpower will not serve you in any way, because it's a must that has to become part of your identity. So we humans absolutely follow through on what we believe we are. So it's the strongest force, and it needs to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Now, it's very important how we define ourselves. I'll be very honest with you here, and it's, for me, it was quite a shocking experience. You know how you see yourself and then you take that selfie or you're in a picture with someone and you're just like, ugh, Photoshop. You know, you have that vision of yourself, okay? And it's a standard that you create for yourself. So it can be negative or it can be positive, but you have to get that standard into reality, into what's possible for you. And it obviously we want to shift that into into a possible situation. So if people say, I'm not that kind of a person, well, really, how do you define yourself then? You see, it's a very complicated situation. So do you have any limitations or a belief system? You know, are you a certain way that people like you? Are you a certain person to, you know, that other people maybe like you? And you know, because we don't want to fail, the fear of failure is such a big part of our lives. So sometimes we tend to be someone we're not, but we have to now get real with ourselves. So the should must become a must. So the thing you have your identity attached to, it's what you live. So we live who we believe we are. So, example, your physical body, it's a reflection of one thing. It's not your goals, it's not your desires, but your standards, staying consistent with what we define ourselves. So, if I'm overweight, if I'm big boned, if I lack that specific identity, your brain will keep you there. Like, for example, a well built person who's toned, strong, you know, their actions, which they do, are consistent to keep, you know, this physique. So, people who work out, like, say, 5 times a week, well, what do they do? Um, do they have more time than we do? I don't know. No. Is their life less busy? No, obviously it's not. You know, I was always thinking, okay, I'm not having that success like Susan is having because I've got 2 kids and I'm busy and I've got this and I've got that in my life. So she looks so slim and sexy and she goes to the gym and, you know, she's got this beautiful clothing. She always looks chic and sexy and stuff. And, but I made excuses. I'm like, no, she has no kids. I'm too busy. I have no time. You know, fear often, more often than not, we disguise fear with the excuse of time. But anyway, so you have to ask yourself, is this who you are? Is this who you want to be? And accordingly, you know, instead of saying, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, you know, it's not compelling enough. You have to look at your belief system, adjust your belief system to what you want it to be. Because as I mentioned, I'm not that kind of a person, really. When did you decide that you can shift your belief system? So that's very important. So I'm going to lose 10 pounds. It's not compelling. But if you want to transform to the way you were, the way you felt when you walked through that ballroom with your high heels and that sexy ass dress, well, you can transform yourself. If that's what you want to be, then do. I mean, if you want to stand in front of the mirror and like, hell yeah, I like what's looking back at me, well, then you go for it. You change your belief system to what you want it to be. This is your life. You have to say, yes, I'm proud of myself. That's who I want to be. So it will have to be something that will have you laughing, smiling, you know, goosebumps with excitement. That's what your vision should be. It's so, so important. If you identify yourself in a new way and you own that every day, imagine what you can do. It's going to be your new standard, your new way of life, and that will drive you every day. And you know what? That standard will become the real standard for you. And remember, you can always change and adjust because that's a process we go through. Like change happens to everyone. We change the economy changes, pandemics come, so change is always there, but the progress and the process you go through, you determine that. So, I mean, if you look at most people's standards are like, I just want to pay my bills this month. That's their standard. But you know what's strange? Like if Susie had a big accident or something and there are hospital bills, all of a sudden the standards change and there's money for that bill, for that extra bill. So you see, people don't understand the standards they hold themselves to. It is so, so important. So it sounds simple, but it's true. So I'm going to lift my standards. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to feel sexy again. I'm going to transform my kids. I'm going to transform my money issues. You can do it. It's all in your mind. So you have to essentially, and if you have a look at this, you're essentially, what you're doing is respecting yourself enough to hold yourself accountable to higher standards. And you're allowed to do this. Don't let anyone hold you back. Don't let it happen. Because you know what? There are two things in life, okay? Two big pains. And the first one is discomfort. And the second one is regret. And discomfort, like being uncomfortable, mostly is a temporary thing. And we measure that in ounces or grams. But you know what? Regret, we measure in tons. So remember, once again, this is your life. This is you. Put yourself first, because if you do, you will be better for your husband, for your kids, for your mom, for everyone around you. And that positivity will just have this ripple effect, and it will change other people. It will change you. It is just so important. So again, how do you do it? The uncomfortable becomes comfortable ritual I told you earlier on. So demand more from yourself. I mean, it's you. You've got this one life and you only live it once. So please, I haven't done this already, but after the VIP, I'm going to put up the motivation. So what I want you to do is just tonight, I believe it's a public holiday in America. Take a deep breath. Go have a long, lovely, relaxing bubble bath and just think about your vision, what it is that you want for yourself. And take your time. Just take that little bit of time. And then take a pen and paper and write down your vision. And also, there can be 3. It doesn't have to be only one. And then your reasons. Now write down 50 reasons. I know you're like, ugh, Vivian, I don't have the time. You do have the time. This is the you. This is the new you time now. Your transformation is starting today, and we're going to get you, drop the dress size. We're going to transform you. And all the other stuff that you want in your life, you're going to get it. I know you will, because you're a strong person. Let that strong person come out and regain your life again. You have to do this for yourself. So take that bubble bath, go grab a cup of coffee and just sit. But take the time, block out all the noise outside. Just sit there, write down the reasons why you want this. Is it for more energy? Is it for this or that? I'll tell you a story quickly. I had a client, and she was overweight and she had PCOS and she had trouble conceiving. They had been to the doctors, you know, the whole story. And well, shame, she was just fed up. She had just had it. And she heard about keto and PCOS and such. And so her why was to conceive. That was her why. And believe you me, she climbed onto that keto wagon. She did everything to the T, which I told her to do. And after 3 months, baby. The baby came. It was a baby girl. And you know what? She gained back the weight. You know, after having a baby, you do struggle, blah, blah, blah. But it just, you know, went downhill again. And she came back to me and I said to her, you know why this happened? Because your vision and your reasons weren't strong enough, because your reason was to conceive, have the baby, and you reach that goal. So you see, it's more than that, because some of these smaller ones you will achieve. So there has to be a bigger one. There have to be a few. And you know what? Every month you can just reassess this. If you reach something, if you lost your 10 pounds, you go back. If you this and this, longevity, how do I sustain this? But that's why it's also important for keto. A lot of ladies say, yeah, but how do I sustain this? If your vision is strong enough, if it's so crystal clear, you can't go wrong. This is life transforming, I tell you. So anyways, so demand more of yourself and discover what you're capable of. You know, this is such an exciting journey, but I have to warn you, you know, it's difficult getting someone on board. We had a laugh this week because there's this meme. I don't know if you watch these home building shows and whatnot. These cargo containers they put on the ships. Now, some people build houses out of those things. It's kind of neat. But, you know, if you tell someone, it's like, what is she talking about? Well, anyways, so you have this vision, but other people will only see these crappy containers and they won't, you know, really see it. So it's very important to just listen to me when I tell you not everyone is going to see this as you see it, but it's very important. And more often than not, I'll be talking about this on Thursday, whether it's business, with kids, every section of your life. There are general problems like there are time, it's fear, money, spouse, self-doubt, and such. And a lot of times spouses can be a problem because, I mean, with me, with my husband, it was like, I'm going to go on this diet. And he's like, ugh. You know, I could just feel it. Like he's again. Oh, yeah, you know. So it can be hard, you know, just going to your spouse and saying, I'm going to do this now and getting their support because they're like, ugh, not again. Are we going to go through this again, really? So yeah, it can be hard. I would suggest that you know your situation best. So if you know they're going to really give you trouble with this or not support you, you know, rather be quiet about it. Because as I said, the meal plans, if you haven't looked at them, really, they are good. They really are good. So you can feed the whole family. And I would suggest if you have kids, you can give them more carbs, obviously. But it's healthy for everyone. And it's always better to do something, you know, as a team, you know, with your partner or whoever. And also, if you have a friend, a good friend, invite them over to join the challenge. I mean, you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Get them over and just do it together. But I'm just warning you, it can be hard sometimes because I remember a dear friend of mine, Leslie, actually we met through my daughter. She was my daughter's au pair. But a long story short, when she came aware of keto, you know, she was all excited, happy, you know. Have you ever seen, you know, that smile on a child's face, so happy, that sweetie there or whatnot, someone takes it away? Well, she went and told her other friends, all happy and like, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to do it by eating more fat. And they're like, you know, what's wrong with you? You know, just cut off that joy in their life, you know, just, yeah. And she was so sad about that whole episode, you know. So get yourself aligned with people you know who will support you and not like be nasty when you go to that birthday party and there are all these carbs looking at you and you're like, no, thank you. Why aren't you eating that? It's like, oh, you know, just like, just know there will be those situations. And more often than not, I think those people can be just really nasty because they're not happy with themselves or whatever. But if you want to change, don't let those people stand in your way, not even for a second, because as I said a million times before, this is your life. You need to live it. It's so important. So again, tonight, I want you to just go get some quiet time, write down your why. Okay. And there was another one, reasons why it is to your advantage to be overweight or be burdened with belly fat or whatever the situation may be. Just go through that motivation guide and write down everything. So I was thinking, I actually did a welcome video, and I asked everyone to just introduce themselves via live, but there wasn't really any interaction. So I don't know if we've got a lot of shy ladies out there, but I was thinking, so last year during COVID, I wrote 51 delicious keto chicken recipes. So I'm so flippin' proud of that book. It was a hard time for all of us, you know, those lockdown moments here in South Africa. Everything was locked down. You couldn't even buy alcohol, for goodness sake. It was so hard, not just because of the alcohol. We were at my parents' and everything was just shut down. It was the transformation from summer to winter. I didn't bring any warm clothes. It was shocking. And the minister of what he decided what the clothing stores were allowed to sell. They were allowed to sell sandals and all of it. A man deciding this, what women can buy for their kids. It was ridiculous, really. And during that time, and so many people actually, you know, lost jobs. It was so hard. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, keto is expensive. It's not. So I decided, you know what, let me write this keto chicken book. And it's very emotional for me. But anyways, so if you're going to write down your whys and just take a snapshot, you don't need to, whatever, show us exactly what you wrote there. I'm going to give you my keto chicken book for free. And it's not just a flippin' good book. It explains how to trust a chicken, how to this a chicken. And the reviews on Amazon have been so great. I'll leave a link so you can just check out that. I'm not talking nonsense, but it's the best keto chicken book out there. And I chose chicken because it's affordable for everyone in these difficult times. So please, I'd really like to give you that book. So do me a solid and just, you know, take a picture of your written whys and you can have it absolutely free. And also it's, the one lady said it's her companion now. She just loves it. It's like curries. The best one, which I do weekly, is like, what do you call it now? It escapes my mind because I'm not thinking. The trust chicken. The dry brining. It's so good. I never knew this. So if you dry brine a chicken, wow, it is absolutely delicious. And you just have a little salad there and you're good to go. The whole family just loves the dry brining. And, you know, my husband is a very, very fussy eater. So, yeah, in the beginning with keto, I always just snuck in all these dishes and he was like, eh? I remember when my little boy, he's got a hernia, he went in to, you know, swallow the camera and stuff, and the anesthesiologist, she spoke with the patient next to us and she's like, yeah, you know, this keto works because wheat is bad for you. My husband didn't want to listen and he always sneakily went to all these drive-through places and he ate the wheat and then he got this reflux. And she was always like, why do you get this reflux? And then her friend saw him there. Luckily, it wasn't an affair. It was an affair with food, actually bad food. But anyways, so yeah, please do that. And then you can get the recipe book for free. Yes. And now what's next? Okay. So I don't know what the time is at this stage, but I will be finishing up here, having a 15-minute break, and then I'm going to go over to the VIP section where we'll just delve in a little deeper with this whole motivation thing. But ladies, it's important. Your vision, your reasons, and then review and then raise your standards. And remember, this is flexible, but as long as you just stay focused, I tell you, that breadstick over there will not have a freaking chance. It will do nothing for you because you know who you are. So it's so important. So I think we've still got 10 minutes left. I would suggest that you really make an effort to get that 7-day keto recipe stuff. So tomorrow, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a fast start guide with keto because there are a lot of beginners in this group. So I'm just going to go through it so you'll understand, just to make it very practical, because all the sciencey stuff is very confusing. I did put up in the first guide all the clinical studies which prove that keto works. A low carb keto diet works. It actually started with epilepsy. They did it for children and they noticed it helped. The keto diet has been around from 1920. Can you believe it? It's nothing new. It's been around now for what? 100 years. So we should be celebrating. But yeah, it works. It's great. A lot of people with serious problems get them cured. And you know what? The pharmaceutical industry does not like the keto industry. And what's actually very sad is the funding to do clinical trials. So at some stage, I would actually love to just, what do you say it in English? You collect money for research, for more studies and so on. We've got really great doctors. I mean, we've got the Noakes Foundation, Professor Tim Noakes. He was a carb loader back in the day. He ran marathons and stuff, but then he actually got converted to keto. And what I love about Prof. Noakes is that he actually admitted and said, you know what, guys, sorry, I was wrong. It takes a lot. And I think it was 2 years back. Oh my gosh, did the Dietitians Association of South Africa get a dig into that poor guy? He won his court case, luckily. But, these people are vicious because it goes against everything we've learned. So, yeah, I'm rambling again. So please get the meal plans. It will help you a lot. And we will be going over to the VIP section now. And I was talking about tomorrow. So we're going to do the fast start, discuss it, and then I will show you how my system works. So I've got the flagship, my Uber Diet Keto, which you will get for free if you join VIP. You get the manual. It explains carbs. It explains hormones. It explains everything you need to know. It's got a great fast start guide. You will get exercises. Look, I'm not saying you need to exercise now, but it will be great if you start within a month or so. You get 28-day meal plans with all the recipes. In total, 102 recipes. You get the Keto Kids lunch boxes, the anti-aging report you've never read. So it's really a go-to place, not all this internet nonsense you have to go through. It's all in one place. So you get it with the extra hour I do for 5 days. So all in all, that's a value of $1,097, and you get it for only $97. It's a steal, ladies. And you will not have to go anywhere else. And I mean, with the support in this group, ask questions. Please feel free. I mean, as I said, we are all ladies here. We are here to learn from another, help one another. It will be absolutely awesome if you can join me on VIP and you can ask questions. I'm just really at this stage, I have to somewhere press stop, and I'm not really sure where it is. I'm a bit challenged when it gets to the technical stuff, but I'll get there. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. So yeah, I don't actually know where there's a timer. Oh, I see. Okay, so it actually says I'll just have to ask my tech support team here to just tell me what's going on. But anyways, yeah, so I'm very excited about tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll just go through, I've got a ratio calculator, which you'll also get for free. So what happens is you put in your weight, you put in your age, gender, etc., and then what happens, it spits out a ratio, and you take this ratio and you get your meal plan. So If I'm 28, it's going to be different from, if I'm 28 years old, it's going to be different from someone who's like, say, 50 years old. So what's great about my plan is it's unique. It's unique to you, because let's think about it for a second. If you and Susan, your next door neighbor, you go on exactly the same diet, you eat exactly the same, yeah, chances are the results won't be the same. A one size fits all approach simply does not work. It has to be unique. And I find that a lot of the people who push the keto, they're like, oh, you have to 5% this, 25% protein, and 75% fat. And we're like, what? So it's really hard for us to put that in real life. So I make it so easy for you. And trust me, the recipes are delicious, delicious, delicious. And also, if you've done keto for a while, why don't you just post a few of your go-to recipes? It's always helpful. You know, it's like Granny's oxtail, that's so good. You know, you don't actually want to make it yourself. But yeah, share your recipes. That will be really awesome. You know, getting some help from friends is also great. Yeah, and so we'll go through that then. And afterwards, I'll just go with the VIP and then just show them exactly how to incorporate it and what to do. And we'll just deep dive into that. So, yeah, my flagship program, I'm so excited about that. It's my third baby, actually. It was, I really enjoyed doing that, you know, helping people. Also, what's amazing with my program is, for instance, if you're a pescatarian and you don't eat pork, beef, etc. So I've got swap out lists. So if I, for example, say, okay, Susan, you have to eat some beef tonight and you don't like it, you can swap it for some hake, and it will tell you exactly how many grams of hake you can have with the ratios that are incorporated. So yeah, it's totally amazing and flexible. I mean, that's important because not all of us like olives. Not all of us like, well, I hope you like butter, because there's a lot of butter in there. So, yeah, that's kind of exciting. But, ladies, I had so much fun talking to you tonight. I hope that this motivation has helped you. And please don't forget to do your homework. I will be so happy if you do that. So, let's move forward, invite a friend, spread the news, and please go and check your emails, because a lot of the ladies have said that they didn't get emails. And so, yeah, they got stuck in the spam. So please release them from the spam section, and yeah, check your emails. And also, yeah, please feel free to comment on the group. I really enjoyed it tonight, and I hope that you have a lovely Memorial Day. And yeah, all the best. I'll see you on the other ones on the VIP, and the other ladies I'll see tomorrow. Thank you.